Okay, so this is going to be a longer video than usual. I want to do like a bit of an update. Um just cuz I haven't uploaded in a while. So after the Apocalyptic Shadow for this patch, I believe Apocalyptic Shadow was last. I was enjoying a late night Overwatch session with my friends, and I live on a main road. And a drunk driver hit a pole on my main road and caused a power outage. This outage killed my motherboard on my PC. My PC is about 10 years old, or 9 or 10 years old. It was a friend's PC that befell to me when my laptop died, and I didn't have another immediate out to fix it. So I first thought it was the power supply first. So I went for that. I bought a new power supply, put it in. It didn't work. So I realized then it's the motherboard. And I put that in. It did work, luckily. I just needed a little bit of time to kind of reacclimate myself to having the PC, and I haven't really been doing a ton of content. I lost my 50-50 for Aglaya and didn't end up swiping, so the main bit of showcase content I wanted to do going forward just wasn't there to me. But I will be getting E1 Tribbie off of that, which will help me stop my moaning and bitching during my every video. And additionally, what is it? Artoria is coming out next week. Emiya is coming out next week, and I want to actually like rebuild and try to use some of the buffed characters a bit more. And also worth noting, this is just so this is the 3.3 MOC. I still recorded it, but I had to record it with PlayStation Flashback recording because I just didn't have my PC up and running. So I figured might as well record it all, upload it all as a bit of an upgrade or update video. So I auto battle 9 and 10. I play 11 and 12 manually. This MOC 12, I actually did find the Zero Cycle line for relatively easily. It wasn't the easiest in the world, but last rotation, I actually didn't end up cooking the line myself. It was cooked for me by my boyfriend on day one, and I couldn't find it to replicate it. And because I didn't have my PC, I could never really sit down and stream the game and try to figure out, or like reverse engineer the line with him. So that video does not exist, unfortunately. This will be the 3.3 MOC. The 3.4 AS will be uploaded tomorrow night. Just definitely. I'll just record that when it comes out as per usual, schedule it for probably 2 p.m. I can schedule this for 2 p.m. too. It's weird, like, talking in front of a mic again, and especially without having any gameplay. I'm not recording Audacity here. I'm just recording the footage on my capture card. What am I thinking of? In that time, I did play quite a bit of Bravely Default. I'm near the end of Chapter 3 now, so I would consider that about halfway through the game, because the second half of the game is, not really, like, half a game. But love Bravely Default. Been loving getting to play it on a TV. Not a ton else has really been happening. I've been really getting into card games lately. I have always been a TCG fan. I grew up as a Pokemon fan, so I obviously collected Pokemon cards. And I was a big fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. So I've rewatched that and all of its iterations several times. However, recently I've been, like, actively collecting Pokemon, and, playing a lot, or have been playing a lot of Magic, because, I am a relatively casual Commander player. My friend group, I met my boyfriend through Magic in middle school. My bully was like, you still play Yu-Gi-Oh! You gotta play a real game. You gotta play Magic. Here, this 8th grader is gonna beat the shit out of you, and I get to watch you cry, and that's awesome. And now, like, a decade later, that's my hubby. But, the 8th grader, not the bully. But, we all I believe with, like, Thunder Junction, a friend of mine who moved to Florida started playing the game with his college friends, and that reinvigorated my boyfriend and the friend who gave me the PC, their love for the game. And then when Modern Horizons 3 came out, my boyfriend said, okay, we're gonna go get the pre-con decks, and he taught our other friend who still lives in town how to play. And since then, we've been playing Commander casually with pretty much just upgraded precons regularly for the last, like, 14 months, I want to say? Modern Horizons was, like, last June. And I've been really brain-rotted on the Final Fantasy set. I have very little direct attachment to Final Fantasy. When I think of Cloud, I think of Smash. And, I don't like Cloud very much in Smash. But the Final Fantasy decks, I remember we sat down to play them a couple days after they came out. We didn't get them, we didn't go to the pre-release for it. We could have gone to a pre-release, and I really would have liked to, retroactively. Because that was the day the Switch 2 came out, and we were tired, and we had just spent quite a bit of money already, because I bought my Switch 2, and we didn't want to enter a bracket. But, we sat down and played with the precons, and I love the Y'shtola deck. I'm a control player in TCGs, first and foremost. And, Y'shtola offered a control combo deck, helmed by a cat girl, which I also quite enjoy. And it's finally a deck that I've really wanted to play, just fundamentally, for quite a while. And I miss playing the game because, the friend whose basement we use as our main space has a guest over, and the basement has been reshaped into the guest room temporarily, so we can't play Magic. But also, when I picked up my Switch 2, there was a line for a Pokemon drop, because Destined Rivals came out that week. And, when we got to the end of the line, they had, one Prismatic Evolutions poster box left. So we grabbed that, we opened a couple packs, we enjoyed it. We sold some old Magic singles we weren't going to put in decks, and some cards in my old childhood Pokemon collection that I don't have a ton of attachment to, for a lot more Prismatic product. And of course the store that we've majorly gotten it from is our closer local, which is, it's hard to support your locals when they buy at $40 and sell at $120, but Back on HSR, this is an Acheron clear. You finally get to see how bad my Acheron is. But yeah, we've bought quite a bit of Prismatic. Not a ton of crazy hits. We have the grail of our collection so far has been my boyfriend hit the Eevee SIR in we did 2 booster bundles, a accessory pouch collection, 2 surprise boxes, and the Rockets Mewtwo box. I mean, we've hit like low rarity hits all around. There's like a full art Pidgeot from something. There's a Destined Rivals Cynthia's Roserade illustration rare that I'm quite fond of. Other than that, nothing crazy, but Prismatic has been a lot of fun to collect so far. And I just want the trading card market to stabilize, because I want to open a box of Final Fantasy. I want to buy the Alt-Art Y'shtola to like upgrade the visuals of my deck a little bit. I'm not a rarity whore, but I really like the art on the borderless. Acheron alt breaks Tribbie follow-up attack camera placement. I've always found that funny. But yeah, that's a lot of my brain rot has been between trading card games and Bravely Default while I haven't had my PC. Now that I have my PC back, I've been playing a ton of Overwatch Stadium. Persona 5X came out, and I've been playing a little bit of that. I missed the last couple days of logins, and haven't done like any of the story past the introduction to the Subway Slammer. I think I just got Motoha in my party. And Uma Musume also dropped, and I played, again, a little bit of that. I did the tutorial multis, and the game was like, hey, you forgot there's a selector ticket, but we're just gonna give you special week out of the gacha anyways as your first 3-star. So I got my favorite Uma immediately, and I haven't played a lot since, but I've really enjoyed seeing a lot of like horse lore on Twitter. Gold Ship is like a little shit. Haru Urara everyone loves. Yeah, it's been fun seeing all this stuff about horses. And I would like to play a lot more Uma Musume because that game is fun. But yeah, I haven't been doing a ton of content lately because I've wanted to catch up on the month that I just didn't have my PC for general use. Starting this week, content flow should be a little more regular. This is going to come out today. The AS is going to come out tomorrow. Zero Cycle, I will try to get out this week. I could theoretically do a, like, minimum, like, AV showcase, but everyone's seen the Lingsha Castorice synergy of breaking Cocolia at 0 AV, so you get through bar 1 at 0 AV, and then on Lingsha's first action, you just kill bar 2. Yeah, there should be content coming up. Fate event, very excited to play Artoria. I should theoretically be getting E2 because I want to get E1 to get the Emiya Cone this patch. And then E2 at some point, probably during the Dan Heng banner, or the rumored Dan Heng banner. And then Emiya I'm excited to play. He looks really fun. Looks like he actually gives me a use for Sparkle, who I've never really had a use for. I want to try out the buffed units. I want to see if Silverwolf salvaged my Acheron. I want to see if Jingliu is saved now. I want to see how much worse my Blade is without being able to use Robin. And I want to see if Kafka is saved now. All of that aside, it's time for MOC 12. And this is, I mean, post-commentary on a first clear isn't really interesting, but I decided that night I wanted to try Yunli. And I probably didn't use Yunli's optimal team here because I believe I went for Sunday Robin. When I think Tribbie Robin or Tribbie Sunday. Like, any combination of those three is probably fine for her. But I also should have put her in slot 2, but whatever. Yeah, I just decided I wanted to have a little fun and try Yunli out. And it worked surprisingly well. So, the zero cycle for this MOC was difficult to cook up because I needed to do Castorice without Tribbie. Because you're going to see here the... What am I checking? Oh, I missed a crit, so I wanted to see. But it's the 10% buff from having the mem buff. The zero cycle on this side, I just needed to figure out how to do it without Tribbie. Because while I think lowly of Tribbie offers a lot of... Really, I don't know what she... I mean, it's the damage dealt, but even, like, Silverwolf was resulting in higher numbers on the Pollux, but just worse action economy. But Tribbie's not adding anything to Cass's ult charge, because I'm not using Gallagher. So, I don't know exactly why this was so hard to do with Ruan Mei. I did try Silverwolf, I did try Sunday. Sunday probably would have been easier, but I'm not used to playing Sunday with Cass. But I needed to save Tribbie for bottom, because I needed... Just, I probably could do... like Feixiao, Sunday, Robin, Aventurine on bottom, but I just didn't feel like using Sunday. I figured Tribbie would give me a little bit of an easier time, because I don't know why I thought it, but I think it was the logic of... Actually, I have absolutely no idea, but basically I wanted to save Tribbie for bottom, because I didn't think I could do it without her with a lot of DPS. And it did work out. I did find a line using Ruan Mei on top, and I had to use Aventurine bottom. Both of my sides for my zero cycle are with sustain this rotation, because sustainless just kind of doesn't work, because I mean sustainless Cass is bad, and sustainless on bottom just could not function for me. So that zero cycle video should be coming out soon-ish. Apocalyptic Shadow. I actually don't know what is this, or what this rotation is. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Just while we're between sides here. Apocalyptic Shadow 3.4. What do we got? It is Flame Reaver Doomsday Beast. I mean, I guess that's to sell Phynon and Artoria. We'll worry about that when we get here. My Yunli is still pretty cracked. I mean, for an E0S1 Yunli, I am very satisfied with how she performs. This is like a really clean clear. Do I Huohuo ult? I Huohuo ult before Robin because I don't care about the energy as much as I do the attack buff. Because it's E2 Robin on a team using a follow-up attack DPS. So the energy's really not a problem. Yeah, I probably should have thrown Feixiao at it first, but I just figured Yunli was just more interesting, especially because I've never actually used Yunli against Huohuo. So I wanted to try it out, and I mean, you're seeing here, we're hitting like 800 or almost 800k alts, which not horrible for a unit that I haven't given a new artifact to since like a patch after her release. And quite good when you realize that's bounce. This is the same reason Anaxa is so broken, is she gets better in single target, same as Anaxa. So once we clear out the trash mob, she does so much damage. I mean, 150k on just the unenhanced counter is already pretty good. We go for a normal here, I think? Yeah. I mean, that 100k normal was from my E6 Robin, but then 500k counter is really not too shabby. We get through Huohuo's health bar so fast. And I think I fish for just doing... Yeah, I fish for this. Because I see that a zero cycle here is possible. Also, my Yunli is not tuned to my Sunday at all. I don't run Hyperspeed Sunday. I run 134 plus a teeny bit extra Sunday. And I run slow Yunli, so... Oh, paused it, because I thought I was playing for a second there. Set up the Robin ult, which lets me get a significantly stronger Yunli ult at the start of bar 2. And 26%, I mean, it's not fine on numbers, and you see the Sunday Yunli tuning comes into play here, and it's a little unfortunate. And we missed the zero cycle, which is pretty unfortunate, but, like, Yunli was surprisingly close for a first attempt. And I do think I showcased my builds at the end here, so we have a little more time to yap at the end. I keep thinking I'm playing. I keep thinking I'm playing. Oh my god. Also, I do have an interesting challenge in the pipeline. Scripting it live has been difficult, and I don't have the space to record all the footage, so it's going to be a lot of live moments, but... I mean, one cycle here already, it's pretty impressive. But on that project, I'm going to try and beat endgame within this patch of HSR. I'm going to try and take Finon and Emiya and see if I can 36-star everything. It's off to a bit of a slow start. We've hit a couple of the things that can't be guaranteed, but also nothing that can be guaranteed yet. And I've been taking it pretty slow, so resin use has been pretty inefficient. But, yeah. We got an E2 Cass. E0 Tribbie, for now. This is going to be E1, probably after the AS and Zero Cycle videos. I'm going to grind that out. RMC build hasn't changed since that first Zero Cycle where I used her. I think I just looked through the builds just to give a little bit of breathing room so I could yap at the end. Hyacine build is still pretty terrible. I should have gone for an outgoing healing bonus body instead of HP. But they're not horrible. That's a really good orb. And that's an okay rope. I've been really pleased with Hyacine so far, and I'm excited to see how she performs with Jingliu. My Yunli. Holy shit, my Yunli build. 82, 174 is not... I mean, it's not the best thing you're ever going to see, but... She got all of the high crit damage Valorous pieces, because Feixiao wants all the crit rate. And then there's the best orb on my account, so she's still on Salsodo. There's my E6 Robin. You all know this build. It's not great. It needs improvement, but it's Robin. No, I'm not going to switch to Von Whack. Sunday, he's at a really awkward speed to tune to, but he's not hyperspeed yet. That orb is just too good to pass up. I really want E1 Huohuo, maybe when she gets added to standard. Nothing crazy about her build outside of the 12-speed gloves. Pretty bad and not even maxed. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to give an update video. Kind of talking about where I've been, plans for the channel, what I've been up to. But, yeah. With all that said, thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow with Apocalyptic Shadow. And, yeah. One more thank you for watching. I know it's super redundant, but, yeah. See ya in the next... I'm really bad at outros. Thank you for watching. See you in Apocalyptic Shadow tomorrow. Thank you.